Hey guys, what's going on? This is Boxing Subjective Observer, and welcome back to Ringside Stories. Feel free to like and share. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell if you enjoy the content. This is part 3 of the Glovegate Saga, aka Tyson Fury's bare knuckles. Well, I'm not a boxing glove expert. Fortunately, there are some experts out there who I'd gladly like to give a shout out to who can offer us unique perspectives on Glovegate. As stated in part 2 of the Glovegate Saga, the main criticism of Tyson Fury stemmed from the Wilder 1 fight, which was held in Los Angeles, meaning the Wilder vs. Fury 1 fight was commissioned by the California State Athletic Commission.
The puncher style glove is gloves that are pretty soft, and again, if you're going to get hit by this glove, you're definitely going to feel the knuckles. They come through a lot more than more of a denser layered foam or protective style fight glove than these do. So a lot of offensive minded fighters that really like to beat their opponents into submission, these are going to be the kind of gloves they like to use.
But first, let's get into some rules and regulations as a base to work off of. In point C, it says, strips of adhesive trainer tape not more than 3/4 of an inch in width may be placed between the contestant's fingers to anchor and keep the standard soft cotton gauze in place. It goes on in point D. Hand wraps only apply in the dressing room in the presence of a commission's representative and both contestants. Here's legendary cutman Jacob Stitch Duran talking about the commission's procedures when it comes to pre-fight hand wrapping.
In a lot of major commissions, what they do is they hold on to the gloves until you put them on, all right? And then you put them on, you lace them up, then the commission puts either the red tape or the blue tape, and the commissions understand what they have to do, what the process is of the game, so none of that is even possible.
Note, he was Fury's cutman in the rematch, but not in the Wilder vs. Fury 1 fight. Here is Stitch's take on Fury's alleged quote-unquote tampered gloves.
If you got a wrap on, you're not going to slide that away from the main part of the glove. It's impossible. You know, it's so tight and all that. A lot of fighters like it tighter than others. Tyson Fury likes it nice and snug. But even when the commission puts that red tape, so that's a big myth, man.
Ishe Smith has been a professional boxer since July 2000, with 40 professional bouts as of today, and a 20-year veteran of the pro boxing game. Smith knows from experience it is virtually impossible to use quote-unquote tampered gloves without the commission finding out right away.
Needless to say, the commission is very strict, especially Las Vegas, especially California, especially New York. The commission is very strict on gloves and having the gloves taped, having your hands wrapped, and all of that. They're very strict. They assign an attendant to your locker room. When that attendant is there, they're watching everything. They're making sure your hands are getting wrapped. They have to, when you're ready to wrap your hands, you have to let them know. They watch. They're the ones that you see signature on the hand wraps. They're the ones signature you see on the boxing gloves. They're in there the whole time. So let's say the commission tells me to report at 6 o'clock, and I know the TV starts at 7, and I'm the main event. Well, when you report, if it's a title fight or whatever the fight it is, you could be on the undercard, but especially if you're a co-main or main event, that attendant is going to be in your locker room the whole time. In
part 1 of the Glovegate Saga, you heard a similar statement from Jack Reese, the referee in the Wilder vs. Fury 1 fight. After the gloves were picked, they were signed by both fighters, then numbered and held by the commission until the fight. And our inspectors signed off on the wrist wraps and taped those gloves as well. Now you heard it from a fighter's perspective.
The commission, if I was fighting, they'll have you tape from here all the way down here. All right, they have you take the whole wrist. All right, so to give you guys some context, see, this glove is a little bit harder. See, I could just slip this glove on if I ain't got the wraps. It's pretty much right on. No wraps, no nothing. Without the wraps, it's a little bit harder.
the main question is why, you know, and
Because you're hitting him with the bare fist, right? But you're saying
how are you going to maneuver that hand with the gauze and tape, and because it kind of adheres to the inside of the glove, number one. So how can you move that in a position when you're fighting to go out there and hit him here and the glove is there? So I guess that was the theory. You're hitting them with here, but it don't make no sense.
So you've just seen how difficult it is to have your gloves slide off if your hands are fully wrapped and your gloves are taped up. We'll pass the mic back to Ishay Smith later in the episode.
Let the battle begin.
Now for the debunking part of today's episode. Let's start off with Real Life Boxing, whose host is a boxing trainer and completely debunks all those silly claims made in the past couple of weeks.
I use my 12-year-old son for y'all, okay, who has much smaller hands than these guys. So the bulge that you're seeing that's in the wrist of Tyson Fury's glove, that is simply the bone of the glove. That is not his thumb. That's the bone of the glove. Now his hand is down. That's the same tape that you're seeing in Tyson Fury's picture, okay?
Damn.
But you guys are saying that his hand was in a fist. Now he's making a fist in the wrist, okay? You guys keep saying that's his knuckle. There is no way that that is his knuckle. Even if his hand was in a fist in the glove, you will not see the tape, okay? Because this is the part of the hands, the knuckles that you're seeing. And in boxing, you cannot tape that far down the goddamn fingers. I'm talking about when he's laying on the floor. In that picture that y'all see, y'all keep saying that's his knuckle, and his hand is like this. Not his knuckle. Because in order to see the tape on his knuckle, his fist would have to be turned like this, coming through the goddamn glove. That's the only way you would see tape right there. You cannot tape this far down the fingers in any athletic commission.
Damn.
Yeah, that's palm in that glove. That's all palm. What's that line right there, Showbiz? That's his fingers. Man, that's the palm of your hand. You don't know anatomy? You think his fist is balled up that low on his wrist? Look at this shot right here. When you look at this shot right here, that's all palm right there. That's palm olive. And it's starting to dawn on you that you got no more joy, right?
Between my fingers, right? And they say his fist is in there. Personally, I don't see it. What I see is the hand crease. When you look at the top of his gloves, so you guys see this part right here? If I dig my fingers in, you're gonna see it. You see how my fingers are pulling it down right here?
Damn.
Okay, when I look at the image of the green gloves that you guys are showing me, I can literally see his fingertips pulling the glove. So I know he's got fingers in there. If there was no fingers in there, the glove looks like that.
People think that his fist is balled up here. You can see the palm, look, the crease in his palm. People think his fist is balled up here and this part is empty. If this part was empty, the glove would be straight. It wouldn't have this clear ridge in it where his tips of his fingers are pushing down. And once again, this was in the first fight.
Damn.
It has nothing to do with the result of the second fight. He was wearing totally different gloves in the second fight. In the second fight, he was wearing Paffin Sport gloves. He was not wearing these Everlast MX. In the first fight, he didn't have any extraordinary power. He didn't drop Deontay Wilder, didn't do any of that. Deontay called him feather-fisted in the first fight.
You know, he have pillows as fists, so I got pillows for fists. That's why I kept running through you, because you can't punch.
Following Glovegate, the Mayweather channel decided to do a little experiment, throwing punches from the wrist compartment of the glove. Keep in mind, these are all professional boxers.
Look, I can't even, this the part you to punch with. So this is like, what the fuck is this? This is nothing. So even if he did do it, it wouldn't make it, it wouldn't be helping him, it would be hurting him.
especially for 12 rounds.
For 12 rounds, this would be hurting him. Look, I can't grab, I barely can block a punch like this, it wouldn't work. This is me with no hand wraps on. Think about if I was fighting and my hands was wrapped up. There's no way in the hell I would be able to keep my hand like this without the glove coming off because it got tape on there, or without me breaking the fucking bone.
Oh, pretty much I'm using my arm to punch.
Yeah, and you want that bare fist to hit the...
So I'm slapping.
Yeah.
Hell no. There's no way. There's no way. Like, you definitely get injured.
So you feel you hurt yourself and you're not getting...
You hurt your elbow even trying to hurt somebody like that, you know?
You would never go into a fight like that?
Never.
So how do you feel? So I haven't done. How do you feel? Do you feel like you have advantage fighting like that?
Hell no. You're knocking nobody out. Most definitely not Wilder with these.
You more likely to hurt yourself or your opponent?
No, definitely gonna hurt yourself. You know what I mean? And basically damage your hand. You know what I mean? So
now, of course, this was just an experiment, and the Mayweather channel didn't use the same glove Tyson Fury used in the Wilder versus Fury 1 fight. Yet still, hitting Wilder with his bare knuckles would have put more damage on Tyson Fury than it would on Deontay Wilder. Here again, Sugar Shane Mosley to remind you why boxers put on gloves and hand wraps in the first place.
And this is a misconception about people with the gloves. The gloves are only meant to protect the fighter's hand. It's not meant
to protect the fighter's jaw?
To protect the fighter's jaw. No, it's not. Back in the day when fighters were fighting, the bare knuckles, they would hurt their hands, they would break their hands. And they had to find a way to keep the fighters fighting instead of, slapping the hand because their hands are broke. So they put hand wraps on first, and then they start with the gloves next, so they can punch harder and tear the skin with the other.
Look at this. Somebody come look at this. Look at this. Somebody come and look at this.
The blood on the hand wraps of Tyson Fury. How did the blood get there inside the glove? There's a few reasons why blood can get on your hand wraps. One reason is knuckle chafing. That's right, knuckle chafing. If you're punching a lot and your knuckle starts to chafe, you start to bleed, and it bleed all over your hand wraps inside your glove. But how about this right here? Look at Tyson Fury, hand wraps clean. It's clean. And then, oops, that's right. He touched Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder's bloody face. Blood and sweat and tears got all over his hand wraps, and then he raised his hand in glory.
Let's conclude today's episode with Ishay Smith. Keep in mind, Sugar Shay is a former IBF world champion at light middleweight.
And what a lot of people are alleging, what they see on film, is that Tyson Fury actually fought like this. Hitting like this. That is almost highly impossible, improbable. And this isn't even flapping. I'm just doing it with this glove. That'll be like me when I won my world title against K9, fighting in these gloves like this. And I can only imagine, these are two big heavyweights, two of the biggest heavyweights to ever step in the ring. I can only imagine, I can't even imagine fighting like this, hitting a guy as big as Deontay Wilder. To me, it would give him no advantage fighting with his wrist right there, he still has the glove in the way. He still has the hand wraps. It does no advantage. Like I said, I fought bare knuckle. Yeah, I dropped the guy. I think it hurt me worse than it hurt him because, like I said, the pain was excruciating.
This is a 20-year professional boxer in Ishay Smith, who was not notorious for having many hand injuries or hand problems during his 40-fight pro career. Yet out of all his professional fights, the one contest he had in bare knuckle fighting was the single most painful.
Like I said, it was more painful for me to fight bare knuckle than it's ever been for me to fight with these gloves. But I was a 3-round fight, and by the time the 3rd round come, my hands were hurting really bad. They were really bad. That was the one thing I experienced fighting bare knuckles.
Personally, I think it's very hard to dispute someone as experienced on multiple fight platforms as Ishay Sugar Shay Smith. So far, you've seen boxing trainers, professional cutmen, professional fighters, and even the referee in the Wilder versus Fury 1 fight. People who know and follow the rules, just like Tyson Fury did for both Wilder fights, and they all debunk every claim that is put against Tyson Fury. Even if by now you choose to believe the false narrative that is Glovegate, let me ask you this. If any of these conspiracy theories are somewhat true, shouldn't there have been an investigation against Tyson Fury already? Why hasn't the WBC considered stripping their newly crowned champion? Why haven't we heard any official allegations from Team Wilder as of today? The answer? Glovegate is a complete fallacy. Aww. In part 4, we're going to go over the latest claims against Tyson Fury and debunk all of them with facts, fairness, and proper context. What are your thoughts? Drop them below in the comment section and let's have a conversation. Feel free to like and share. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell if you enjoy the content. This is Boxing Subjective Observer with Ringside Stories. Thanks for watching and have a legendary day.